Good day, everyone. So my name is Nurdiasafra binti Hassan. I'm a physiotherapist from National Sports Institute. Today's topic, I will talk about return to training camp post MCO, specifically for Malaysian diving team. As we know, when COVID-19 hit Malaysia in early of this year, the Malaysian government has announced of movement control order starting from 18 March till 12 May, which is involved of 4 phases of MCO. And then after that, they announced of conditional movement control order from 13 May to 9 June, and now Malaysia in a recovery movement control order phase until end of this year. So while they're in the movement control order, no sports activity are allowed, even inside a guarding area. And then only on the 4th of May, the non-sports contact activity is allowed, but not any water sports activity. And as you see in the slide, the road to Tokyo camp starts from 1st June until 30th of June. It's been a discussion between the Ministry of Youth and Sport, our National Sports Association, as well as our National Sports Institute, plan to have a road to Tokyo camp specifically for those athletes already qualified to Tokyo Olympic and those who are on the way to qualify to Tokyo Olympic. So due to this COVID-19 and movement control order that not only hit Malaysia but as well as other countries also affected, a few qualification and a few tournament and competition have been cancelled and postponed. The main tournament for diving team itself is a Olympic qualifier which should be held on Tokyo last April, but it's been postponed until next year April. And then for FINA Diving World Series has been postponed to the date that will be informed. And then however in Singapore, Grand Prix has been cancelled, and even in Kuala Lumpur that's supposed to be in June 5th until 7 June, the game also has been postponed. So because of the movement control order, all athletes also don't have any training because they have to go back to their home and then do self-training. Because of that, they are dramatically reduced in performance. As you can see the graph itself, when we don't have any training, the graph dramatically will be reduced. And even though they do a home exercise, home program that have been taught by the coach, by the strength conditioning coach, they will still have some effect for their performance. And then due to this movement control order, there will be a reduction in muscle mass, which is affect the muscle strength, and then a reduction in neuromuscular function, which is transmission of muscle contraction, and reduce in aerobic capacity oxygen, and then thus increase in body fat and change in body size, which can lead to increase the risk of injury. So we talked about the effect of the training, and then we've talked about the MCO. Now I want to talk about the epidemiology of injury in diving, because there's a relationship between the MCO, the epidemiology of injury, and the effect of the training. So the common injury in diving itself is mostly involve the upper extremity. So as you can see in the slide, shoulder impingement is the most common injury, and then followed by shoulder bursitis, bicipital tendinitis, mid-clavicular stress fracture, polycranial stress fracture, ulnar collateral ligament sprain, tricep strain, the FCC tear, as well as scaphoid stress fracture. In lower limb injury, it's involved patella tendonitis, osteochondral injuries, hip bursitis, ankle sprain, and as well as posterior tibialis tendinitis. In trunk or spine injury, it's involved cervical spine injury and lumbar spine injury. Other than extremities, they also have the risk of injuries such as concussion as well as corneal epithelial injuries. So when government announced in the CMCO, they announced they allowed to do certain sports activity. So, Ministry of Youth and as well as Malaysian government has released some standard operation procedure for sports in Malaysia. So at the first phase, they are only allowed individual sports, but together with non-contact sports. So they allow for recreational sports, they allow for e-sports and motor racing. So they are only allowed to go for the sports between 6:30 a.m. in the morning till 7 p.m. And then they have to, the SOP have to, the gap, the distance between one and each other is 1 meter. And then all the kids that want to involve with sports have to have a guardian together, and then minimize the person in one places, and every facilities provided have to follow the SOP. And then they also have to make sure all the signage are clearly displayed on that area. And in phase 2, in starting from 15 June, they allowed certain indoor activities such as gymnasium, badminton, sports complex, snooker, and other sports that's in indoor sports. And then they also allowed team sports to be trained, but without any context, such as football, hockey, field hockey, rugby, as well as basketball. It's also involved sports like combat sports such as karate, taekwondo, as well as silat. However, they are not allowed to do any competition or tournament. So even though they are allowed to train, but no contact, this means no non-contact for this team sports activity. So in phase 3 and phase 4, they are already allowed to do some tournament and competition, but mostly it's individual tournament and competition such as motor racing, badminton or chess. And then they allowed to do a contact sport such as combat sports, taekwondo or karate, and then even a futsal, football, uh, uh, and hockey. And then, however, uh, the government has announced there is no viewer or no spectators for each and every competition or tournament that be involved, and they have to follow all the SOP, such as they have to scan the temperature, make sure minimize the numbers of all the staff involved, and make sure every equipment have been sanitized each time after use. And then for water sports, they are only allowed on 25th June, which is involve training without any contact, and involve in swimming and diving, and have to follow the schedule that have been scheduled, and then make sure minimize the person that in the pool itself. Person that involved in water sports is they try to restrict the numbers of involvement that in the pool, such as only the national athlete and the state athlete are allowed, the club and academic athlete are allowed, and then they have to train not at the same time. They have to train as follow the sequence, and then make sure that, but however, they are allowed to train at the recreational club as well as the hotel. So when the government have planned, Ministry of Youth and National Sports Association and National Sports Institution plan for the Road to Tokyo camp, is involved a few camp, which is Langkawi Training Center, which was focusing in sailing, starting from June 1st until 30th June 2020. And then in Bukit Kiara itself, Bukit Kiara Badminton Training Center, which is involved in badminton, specifically in badminton, starting from June 1st until 30th June 2020. And for me, myself, I've been placed in Bukit Jalil Camp, which we have a few sports that been involved, such as diving, swimming, karate, archery, gymnastics, as well as para-athlete. However, in Bukit Jalil Camp, we are start quite late. We start on the June 8th until 30th of June 2020. So support staff that been involved in this Road to Tokyo camp, as you can see in the slide. In Langkawi, we have 8 number of athletes with 5 of support staff to provide services. And then in Bukit Kiara, we have 19 of athletes with 6 support staff to be involved and support the services, giving the services. And in Bukit Jalil itself, we have 66 athletes, which is involved in almost 24 support staff to give the services towards the athletes. It's a multidisciplinary approach and team that have been service to the athlete while in the camp. So because of this COVID-19 also, we have really certain procedures, the standard operation procedure for the physiotherapist to follow, as well as all the services provider. So for the self-care protective physical equipment, the physiotherapist should wear a face shield, should wear a glove with a single use, meaning each and every patient have to change, and an apron also a single use, which is each and every patient have to change. And then we have to wear mask all the time. And then for the services itself, we have the release the standard operation procedure from National Sports Institute, which is involved. We should keep the physical distance within 1 meter, meaning the distance between one bed to another bed within 1 meter. We put the hand sanitizer at the entrance to make sure all the athlete and staff or whoever want to enter the clinic have to sanitize their hand, and then make sure the physiotherapist wash the hand before and after the treatment. And then within one time, only 10 patients are allowed to be in that area. And then we have to make sure each and every time after the patient have used the machine or bed, we have to sanitize it. For the camp, we have a discussion involvement, medical team discussion to discuss about the SOP, to set up the clinic area, and to discuss regarding the budget. So the budget involves the PPE preparation, everything is like a one-off budget. So it's also involved a Walter Sports team meeting team's discussion, which is involved in multidisciplinary team discussion. We discuss regarding athlete condition and program while within the MCO. We also having a discussion with the coach. This is we discuss and ask regarding what's their plan for this RTT camp, as well as what have they been done for the athlete and all the program have been done during the MCO. Also, we also ask and discuss with athlete their recent condition and injury status, and to make sure everything has been prepared for this camp. So as you can see in the picture, is the photo is preparation before the camp. We prepare the area before we start the camp. So on the 8th of June is the day where the camp starts in Bukit Jalil. So we have done 3 swab tests. We done a swab test in the first day, the 3rd day, and the 30th day, and thank God all the result is negative. And then in the first swab test, we have to quarantine ourselves in the room for 3 days until the result are released. It's quite challenging, which is we have to be in the room itself, where we are not allowed to go out. They will send everything to us. They will send the food to make because we have to prepare in case anything happen. So this is a photo of the divers who have doing the swab test. Okay, while in the RTT camp, this is our daily schedule, as well as our clinic time, which is we start in the almost at 9 in the morning and we finish at 10 in the night. So usually in the morning we will do a lot of rehabilitation or injury prevention program where we go to our gymnasium, and then around in the afternoon time we will do all the pre-training session with physio involving stretching and activation. And then in the late afternoon session around 4, we will go to the training session, and then to have some observation and discussion with the athlete as well as the coach and other support staff, and may do some modification for the training load or modification while for the athlete itself as an individual. And then at night, we'll do our post-training activity such as an active recovery. So after discussion with the coach and we ask regarding the athlete condition, recent condition, so a few assessments have been done for the athlete. So we choose 4 types of assessment and screening, such as range of motion, upper limb tension test, functional movement screening, as well as CAT5. Why we choose range of motion, make sure the all joint mobile enough to do all the movement, while we choose the upper limb tension test because this involves a lot of neck tension because they are doing a lot of dive activity. And then while we choose the functional movement screening, mostly the functional movement screening is involve the upper body, the mobility of the body itself, which is similar to diving. And then this CAT5 is a baseline. At least we know the benchmark of the CAT5 for all the divers. They have been rest for 3 months and then want to start training, but again the possibility of concussion is there. All right. Well, in the camp in RTT Bukit Jalil, we do the treatment for pre-training. We do all the stretching, we do all the joint mobilization. However, it's not involve all the athletes. It depends on their individual, their request itself. So this is one of the photo what we have done before the training, and then post-training we'll do myofascial release activity. We also have done the dry needling or Western acupuncture and some electrotherapy modalities. So it's not involve all athletes, but some of them, if they request and they need, they will come and see us. However, the most important thing is the strength and rehabilitation, which is involved in active injury prevention program. So this is the most crucial part where before the coach or the strength and conditioning coach want to load to the higher intensity training. So we are the front liner to make sure the athletes are ready for it before it's getting worse. Okay. So I've been discussed all what we have done in the RTT camp Bukit Jalil, and then however we still face a few injury such as shoulder. This is the list of common injury while in the camp RTT. So shoulder impingement, spine, non-specific lower back pain, upper muscle tightness, meniscus injury because one of the athlete having a meniscus injury because of the change direction while running, and then ITB strain, and then ankle tightness, metatarsal strain, and shin strain. Is when we go to earlier slide, it actually is related to each other with the epidemiology of the injury in diving. All right, what is the challenges in camp RTT Bukit Jalil? For me, myself, itself, from the support staff view, the challenges is athlete injury. We have to make sure the athlete is free from injury, or we have to make sure that we have to ready if the athlete injured itself by training because they have not been trained for almost 3 months. And then coach expectation where they expect the athlete is ready, or when the athlete is injured, the recovery will be more faster and more greater, or the coach expects to give high load intensity without any discussion sometimes. And then The next challenges, of course, the equipment for PPE, where we make sure the PPE is ready, and the what we call to make sure each and every smooth, how to say, to make sure the PPE stock is enough, so make sure the smoothness of the treatment or the service provided for the athlete. And then it's quite challenges where we have to stay at the same scenery for 3 weeks. We face the same faces, we face the same things in the same area for 3 weeks without going anywhere. So it's actually quite bored for support staff. But for the athlete itself, of course, the challenges is injury, and then they easily get bored because they are only allowed to be in that area, but not allowed to be do anything outside from the camp. And then they have to see the same faces, the same scenery, and no interaction for other worlds, meaning they're only allowed to do training, go back camp, do gym, go back camp, go to the cafe and go back at the rooms. All right. So how we overcome these challenges? They as a support staff and as the athlete, sometimes they play football in small group, and then some of them playing badminton, some of them using the recovery boot to release the physical stress. And for mental or emotional, they overcome with psychologist session. Sometimes they have sessions once a week, and then over the weekend they will play games like board games such as a Rubik Cube, and even a card game such as a Uno card and Nation games. And then some of them have a talent to play and even bring a guitar, so they can play instrument, they karaoke and they play music, which is that is the way they release their stress. So what is the outcome from this RTT camp? For physically, I believe that the athletes ready to increase training intensity, and then from this camp itself, we are improving our disadvantages during the camp within the sports group, meaning all the training plan, training intensity, and then support staff itself, the preparation. So we improve on that area. And then also from this camp RTT, we are planned for having a future project for the Road to Tokyo athletes. And for mental and emotional, we are more bond together. We have the good bonding together from the coach, support staff, and athlete. And then they acknowledge each and every support staff, coach, and athlete, and they support each other. We can see from them. So, as what Nurdiasafra, our national diver, said, at first it's a big stress, but after getting used to it, it's kind of fun because get to train and be fit again. And then thanks to everyone that we involved in this RTT camp and make the camp to be a successful camp. All right. Thank you. If you have any question, you can email me to Nurdiasafra@isn.government.my.